Can I travel when my 485 is pending? I get this question a lot, especially now when the holidays are upon us and people want to travel and see their families. So watch this video. We'll talk about travel and pending adjustment of status. This video, we'll talk about the holidays, travel plans, and can you travel when your 485 application is pending. But before that, if you're here for the first time, subscribe to our channel, click the bell to be notified that new videos are coming out a few times a week. Click the like, we love that. And also, if you have Instagram, make sure you follow us on Instagram. We have 2 accounts. We'd love to connect with you there as well. Can you travel when your application is pending? Specifically, if your adjustment of status is pending. So first of all, if you have an application pending, which is like an extension of a visa or a change of status in the US, until that is approved, you cannot travel. But in this video, I want to focus on the adjustment of status application, which is the I-485, that is filed either through a marriage or family petition or through employment. So if we're focusing on employment right now, typically the person will have a non-immigrant visa like an H-1B or an L-1 or any other visa, and then they go through the process of getting a green card, and the final step is the adjustment of status. So the adjustment of status may be pending for a while. So the 485, as long as it's pending, if you have an advanced parole, which is an I-131, which is a combo card with a work permit, as long as you have that advanced parole, you can travel even if your I-485 is pending, right? So that's why, especially now during the holiday season, it is really important to plan in advance and file your advanced paroles 4, 5, even 6 months in advance if you can, because it's taking really a long time right now. If you don't have an advanced parole and you have a 485 pending, only if you have an H-1B visa or an L-1 visa in your passports, that is the only exception, and you can travel as long as you come back on that visa, right? If you have any other visa, you should not be traveling unless you have a travel permit, right? So that's why, again, during this period of holidays, when people are really eager to travel, they want to visit family, usually they buy their plane tickets, and then they realize that, yes, they have their adjustment of status pending, but their visa, for example, let's say they're still students, or maybe they're here on a J visa, or some other visa that does not allow them a dual intent, then they won't be able to leave until they get their advanced parole, the I-131. So it's really important to get that document if you don't have a visa that allows you to travel, which is the H-1 or an L-1 in this case. So to answer the question, if you have a 485 pending, it really depends. In most cases, yes, you can travel as long as you have another visa that is still in status, and you can use that like an H or an L. Or if you received your advanced parole, the travel document, the I-131, that it's already approved, then you'll be able to leave and come back even if your adjustment of status application is pending and it has not been approved yet. Now remember, we have a lot of people that are filing for adjustment of status and their travel permits are still pending, and they don't have any other visa that will allow them to travel. Those people should not leave the US under no circumstances, because if you try to come back and they'll determine that your advanced parole has not been approved yet, then you will have really serious issues in coming back to the United States. So again, it's the holiday season, and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a beautiful New Year. But remember, plan applying for your travel documents on time so you won't be stuck when your adjustment of status is still pending and you're not able to leave the country. So it's a really common question that we get, and I wanted to make this video to explain what you can do. And again, a very typical example where we have a client that left the United States on their adjustment of status while it was pending, but they were here on their OPT and they didn't have a visa. Their parole documents were not approved yet, and so when they were coming back to the United States, they spent hours and hours in secondary inspection until finally they were able to let them in. But they were lucky, because typically they should not have let them in, because you're not allowed to travel unless you have your parole documents approved or any other visa that allows you to travel even when your adjustment of status is pending. So just kind of a word of caution, especially now, holiday season, you're making travel plans, make sure that you're aware of what's your visa status, are you able to travel, and if you are not sure, talk to an immigration attorney, because once you're out of the country, it will be virtually impossible for you to come back. So once again, happy holidays, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Share this video with somebody that may be interested or care about this information. Thanks for watching.